All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for jumping in tonight. We're going to talk a little more continuation of the NFL draft from a couple weeks ago. And I wanted to do it last week, but I had some issues with the dog again. So that kind of prevented me from doing that. So anyway, Chris is just wrapping up from his stream. He just got done doing a blind and everything over there. So hopefully everybody is having a good night. I know I saw that his number one was the Eagle Rare 10-year. Hey, at the end of the day, it's a great sipping bourbon. You know, if you can find it for $30, you can't beat it. It's just a good, solid, everyday drinking bourbon. So anyway, so tonight's idea was to kind of just do a little bit of a recap. We're going to go through the first round. We'll try to make it a little quicker. We're not going to go 4 hours tonight again, of course, but there was a lot of Tua emotion on my side, so I got a little wrapped up. I got a little wrapped up in that. It went from being about an hour and then 3.5 hours later we wrapped her up. But it was a fun one. So hopefully we'll be able to do it again next year. I think people had a really good time with that. So it was good people in the chat and everything. We were. It was some fun banter, that's for sure. So anyway, yeah. So tonight is basically going to be, we're just going to go through kind of some bourbons that we're sipping on. We all have obviously a handful of those things. And then we're going to go through, and then we'll go through the first round. We're going to give our grades, and then if you guys want to pop in the chat, let us know who you're kind of rooting for and how well you think your team did. So I already know how good mine is. So here we go. Brazo is already in here. He's going to get the old first muter, I have a feeling. On the night. So Joseph, don't tempt me already. So, but let me go through. We had some pre-gamers in here before. So let me just go through and see where we're at right now. So Trev was the first one, of course. How's it going, Trev? Christopher David, how are you, buddy? Glad to see you. Who else we have here? Honest Charlie, how's it going, buddy? Joe Edwards, Cowboys. Might want to sign Dak here. They just signed Big Red.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that.
Yeah, that's going to be that'll be an interesting. I'm sure the Bengal fans are sad to see him go. So, Old Farm Show, how's it going, buddy? OG Brick 420, Anthony Orlando. Cool 62 Chev, 500 pizzas. How's it going, buddy? Not $4.99 pizzas, 500 pizzas.
That's right.
Spencer Mav, Mike Meyer, how's it going, buddy? Doug Tempest, ADHD Whiskey, Big Sexy himself. Joseph Mute Button Brazier, he's in here. Paul Adair, King Jack, Josh Anderson, how's it going? Andrew Buchanan. All right, we're good to go. So I'm sure Chris will probably be showing up in a few minutes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to sip on some whiskey, I guess. Leave in the chat too. Let us know what you guys are sipping on. But before we do that, the gentlemen who are with me right now, what are you guys sipping on?
I got myself an Eagle Rare store pick. I figured I was just watching Chris's live stream. He finished up. His number one was Eagle Rare. He called it that he thought it was Buffalo Trace. So good job, Chris. So I've been enjoying some of the picks. I also have some Bardstown Discovery Series that Scott, you're very familiar with. I love this stuff. So yep. I haven't dove into this for a little bit. And another whiskey here that I'm going to be trying later is the Woodinville Cask Strength.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is that the one you kind of just did in your little your Patreon thing before? Is that the finished one?
No, this is just a straight up cask strength.
Okay.
The finished one I just got, courtesy of Joseph Brazo, is a Woodinville bourbon finished in Ardbeg casks.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I'm trying that on my Patreon live stream tomorrow night.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I saw you were going to do that.
Only release, or
what's that?
That Ardbeg is at the distillery only release, or
yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Go figure. All right.
Yeah, because I think Joseph's right out there. But yeah, Dan, what are you sipping on?
Sipping on the 2018 Bomburgers.
Okay.
I haven't attacked in a while, so it's actually really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's one that, like we were talking before, it's been kind of hit or miss for me on some of those, but
Yeah, the one that I reviewed, I was not a fan of. It had a very funky finish on it. I like the Shanks a little better.
Yeah, the Shanks I do like a little bit more, but this one, the 2018, is way better than the 2019. I don't know if it was the 19 you reviewed.
Yeah, I had the 19, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, I got rid of my 19.
Josh Anderson, good man. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is this is old school. This is old school. This is going back. I don't even know how my ass fits in it, to be honest. But he actually signed the shirt a long time ago for me. I bet this is probably, I don't know. This thing might be 25 years old. I bet. But
Who signed it?
Mr. Dan Marino himself.
Oh, really? He signed it on your belly button?
Yeah. Well, it was when I had it. It was when I first moved here. So that would have been. Oh, geez. I don't know. Maybe it would have been the early 90s. So when he was endorsing Pony. So Josh will know this. He was a big Pony guy and isotoners, of course. So,
Chris, you all right, man?
I'm good. This freaking chair is the worst, man. Just getting in and out of this freaking thing is awful.
yeah. Give yourself some room in there. I mean, Jesus.
You get a hammy.
Yeah.
The things we do for Whiskey Tube.
Is your chair and table like elevated?
Yeah, it's a bar. It's a bar table.
Oh, okay.
Which
that's why, because when your son walked into the shot before. You had to, it's like you reached down to the depths of hell to pick him up.
Yeah.
I was like, where's he going to get his kid? How high up is he?
yeah, it's a bar table, so it's a pain in the ass. If I would have known, I would have just not done that.
I'm not sure if this is a promise or if this is a threat right here. Okay, I'm back.
He's not wearing any Lions gear though.
No.
So Scott, how'd you feel about the news with Don Shula? God rest his soul.
Yeah. So, for me growing up, I would go back to probably when I first started getting into football would have been probably early 80s. And that was just the team I latched onto. And it was him and Dan Marino always. That was a guy that I respected as much as any coach that was out there. And I think all of his players and everything did as well. So yeah, it was a little, you knew he was getting up there in age and his health wasn't the greatest, but it's always sad. What's sad is that you realize that now you're getting older when all your heroes are either dying or they're either coaching or something now. But yeah, it was a little sad, but man, the guy.
I want to do a little raise your glass to Mr. Shula.
Yes, cheers to Mr. Shula. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
And Chris is gonna bottle chug that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna crack it.
So Christopher, what are you sipping on? Number one over there? Are you sipping on number one?
Sorry, are you talking to me?
Yeah, are you sipping on number one?
Yeah, it was number one. I don't know, or it was my last place for some reason. I don't know why I grabbed it.
No, your Buffalo Trace. Your Buffalo Trace was number one, right?
Yeah, but I grabbed the
Eagle Rare. I'm sorry, Eagle Rare.
Yeah, but I grabbed the my fifth place. I grabbed.
Oh,
so I'm gonna quick. This bottle was from ADHD Whiskey.
Oh, nice.
Old Granddad 100. Now he can tell you the year, but this is an older one. It's not super old, but it's at least 5 years old. It's got the the orange top and everything on it. So I wanted to wait till I got the modern day Old Granddad 100 to crack this, but I just have never picked it up yet. So I really want to try this.
It's from 2015. It's a Dusty.
Yeah, that's about right. Just about right.
That's the old Dusty right there. 2050. It's a 2019 edition. It's a Dusty. Dust her off. All right,
good. I know, Josh. I'm buzzing like a cheap speaker already. I know.
That's good. Honest Charlie's asking somebody about, I don't know, maybe this is your reference, Chris, about the Jefferson's Ocean.
Yes. Jefferson's Ocean weeded.
Is that what? Yeah, I don't know what it's in reference to.
So that placed fifth in my blind I just did. It for some reason it gave me like a monkey shoulder Scotch.
That was the one you were.
That was
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
I think I got that. I haven't visited that one either.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
what was up with that, but
that's a nostalgic bottle for me. That was my first review I ever did.
wow.
Was the Jefferson's Weeded Bourbon.
That's funny you say that. That was one of my first reviews too. It was
And
I
I was not a fan of it. I remember when I had it.
No, man, the first bottle I had was awful, and for some reason I got this store pick.
Yeah.
Not any better. And now I got a store near me who's like, "Oh, this is the best barrel I've ever picked, and it's coming soon."
Yeah, just
I'm
Jefferson. Just Jefferson's in general. I just never like it. I don't know what.
No.
Yeah, nobody seems to. It just seems to be one of those brands that nobody ever seems to talk about much. So
something about it, man.
And it keeps getting pricier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
go ahead, Scotty.
no, I was gonna say I just saw 500 Pizzas was asking. He was getting the football stuff going. He just said something about are the Falcons ready for today? I don't know.
Why? What's today?
I don't know. I don't know what today is in reference to. Meaning, like, are they just ready to go or what? But
I don't know. I mean, I do like some of the moves they made. They had a couple of. Well, we'll get into the draft picks. But,
yeah.
So you guys want to go like pick by pick here, or you just want to focus on our teams? What do you want to do?
Well, I don't know. I thought we could go through. We could just go through the top ones real quick. We'll just go through like the shitty teams. The Bengals, hard pass. F. That's an F.
Well, I mean, the Bengals so far got A's across the board from most of the feedback because I mean they did get Burrow.
Yeah.
Now they also picked up a couple of trying to think. They picked up a wide receiver from Clemson. T. Higgins was a really good one.
Yeah. Yep.
They picked up a couple defensive guys. So I think they had a really good draft. Now, whether or not it comes through and Cincinnati actually, makes a fight this year, it'll be interesting to see how Joe Burrow plays. I think he's gonna be fine. But
see, and that's that was my thought with him. I mean, what scares me about him is the fact that the guy, for the most part, kind of came out of nowhere. He didn't really do much, obviously, at Ohio State. Transfers out of there, goes to LSU, basically sits there, and then plays all of 19, and has the greatest season a college quarterback has ever had.
Yeah.
That in itself makes me a little bit nervous. Maybe it's more because of the fact that he's going to the Bengals, and they're not notorious for grooming quarterbacks by any means, So
yeah, and then you get rid of they friggin' dropped Big Red.
Yep.
And he goes to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Who still have not signed Dak.
No.
Yeah.
But the Cowboys, even though I hate to admit it, had a fucking awesome draft.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they had a good draft. So they ended up getting
Wide receiver, D.D. Lamb.
Yeah, they got the Lamb.
Yeah.
Did you hear the Lamb? Mr. Lamb is going to be wearing the big 88.
Oh, really?
He's taking Irvin's number, and he's holy shit.
Right.
I heard Irvin is not happy about that shit.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I'm not sure.
They didn't retire that number?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
You would think.
Maybe I don't do the Cowboys not actually retire a number? Do they just put it up in you have like three people who've always wore that number who are kind of like in their like Ring of Honor or something.
Yeah.
So, but,
I mean, they did trade around to pick up a really good cornerback, so they made some good moves, Dallas. I think.
Yeah, there's some good ones. Well, I don't know. I mean, it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, obviously the jury's out on really all of these guys. They've not proven anything yet, but what Burrow did.
Well, Tolv Thomas in the chat makes a good point. He said that the LSU O-line did it for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they did. They had an amazing, like a kind of a second rate, maybe NFL grade line.
Yeah.
At LSU. So it'd be interesting to see when he has shitty protection how he reacts.
Yeah, I mean, when you watch a lot of those games, Burrow had all day to throw the football.
Yeah.
And when you just become, I mean, essentially, if you're a quarterback and you're not throwing the ball within, let's just say, maybe 2 or 3 seconds on whatever route, you're pretty much schoolyarding it at that point. I mean, guys are running around like it's just, waving your hand, go deep, and I'll throw you the ball and do what you do. And not all of what he did was that, but there was a fair amount of, you just go deep, I'm going to heave it to you. But anyway, I don't want to take too much away from the guy. I mean, he had the best season ever.
I think the thing about college football too is you can get away with like what you just said, like heaving it downfield and throwing it over the top of these corners. But in the NFL, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Rookie quarterbacks always have a challenge first year, but after that, you never know.
Yeah. Well, here, like Joe Edwards says, the entire LSU offense that was eligible got drafted and signed to the NFL roster. So, I mean, you've got, basically an NFL line that protected him from, protected him and allowed him to do what he did. So,
it's like
here's the old Z-Man. So he's really going back to the old, he's another Finns fan, smart guy, of course, probably.
Jason Coates said that Johnny Manziel made second defense look silly.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, I think it boils down to not only talent, but you've got to look at what the system is that they've come out, of. And, same thing kind of applies to a lot of the OSU guys. Again, they've had great offensive lines. They've had really good quarterbacks, but you can be a system guy. And if you're a system guy, then, you're made to look good,
Yeah, I mean,
So then we have the second pick,
Chase Young. That was a no-brainer.
Yeah. Overall, Washington actually had a decent draft considering they usually fuck it up every year.
Yeah, Washington. I think Washington did a pretty good job as well.
Yeah, it'll be. I never trust the Redskins franchise. I mean, I think they ruined Dwayne Haskins for life. I don't see that guy thriving in that. I mean, they didn't want him to begin with, and he knows it. So how do you expect a quarterback to perform? I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Again, you're a system guy, and when you start looking at the style of the quarterback, do some of these guys, really fit very well? And man, it's tough. A lot of it's luck of the draw that you get, into an organization like for instance, like New Orleans, or, I mean, you can go and be like groomed and like just be like in a system that's going to kind of work with you and not be like the Browns or the Bengals or,
the Lions.
The Lions. I mean, now granted, you've had Stafford off for a lot of years, but
fuck off.
Well, I mean, everybody can't be Scott Mitchell. Right, Chris?
Oh, don't even start me on Scott Mitchell. Scott fucking Mitchell. Don't even say those words.
So that brings us to our third pick, and that was, poor Chris thought they were going to take another tight end, which they did.
Yeah, I honestly, at this point, I was disappointed they didn't.
They took Jeff Okudah out of Ohio State.
Yep.
And overall, Detroit, from what I read, got a pretty good draft rating overall. So
they did. Yeah. I mean, we took a running back early.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the highest ranked running back. Swift was the highest ranked running back in the draft.
Yep.
Which was surprising because we have a running back who was performing last year before he got hurt. But I mean, if you have two running backs, that's fine.
Yeah. You got some offensive line help, which you definitely needed.
And good news, we did take a tight end. We took a tight end this year.
Was that the kid out of Notre Dame?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
No, I don't remember it either, but
I know who you're talking about. He's actually really good.
Yeah, he's down in your parts.
Yeah, I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. I don't know everybody's name, but that's my college team.
Yeah, and he was he was maybe a second or third rounder, wasn't he, Chris?
I think he was third round. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a good. Yeah, Okudah. You knew really once they traded Darius Slay that they were going to have to lock back into a cornerback. You wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have traded him and then not take arguably the best, cornerback. So
yeah.
All right. And then you go on to the Giants. The Giants screw everything up, but they didn't screw this one up. I mean, you took
they finally fucking got smart and got some line help. I mean, the Giants are my second favorite team. I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan, but the Giants, just growing up in New York, they were they were kind of my go-to New York team, and it killed me to see that they couldn't get any protection for Eli in kind of the last 4 to 5 years of his career. They just the poor bastard had 2 seconds to throw the ball every down.
Yeah, well, that now you need guys that are going to be road graders for Barkley. I mean, that's your guy now. So,
well, and it's funny because it tells you how they feel about Eli, or how they felt about Eli, because look at like the Bucks now. They got Brady. They're going to do everything they can to protect him, obviously.
Yep.
Same with any of these quarterbacks who are just top tier. Like the O-line is always phenomenal. The Saints, Patriots, it's just you got to protect your merchandise.
Figured fucking Brady have to go into my division, asshole.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how good he is on another team, though.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, he's got some good weapons.
Yeah, he has a sick receiving core. He's throwing to the fucking caveman tight end again.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's a good one.
And that brings us to the star of the show here, Scott.
Yeah. I mean, clearly at number 5, Miami and Tua.
I think they're happy.
This is an A-pluser, that's for sure. So
Miami played a little, they were. I know you were a little nervous, Scott, because they were playing a little trick to the media, saying that they might take Mr. Herbert. It
was confirmed after they had basically talked to after the draft, and then few days go by, they did start talking to other coaches and stuff, and they kind of let the cat out of the bag that they were kind of. I mean, they were rope-a-doping. I mean, they were throwing everything out there that they could to make it pretend like they were not locked into him, but he was clearly their guy, and I'm glad. I mean, I hope that the guy stays healthy, because I think he can be a hell of a talent, and I don't know, time will tell. You've got to stay healthy. If you're not, you're no good.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, you have your guys that have talent, and then you have your guys that have talent that are also leaders.
Yeah,
and Tua seems like a leader to me, and I hate to bring up Mitch Trubisky. He doesn't sound. He's not.
He didn't get signed, so they didn't extend his contract, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
how much confidence the Bears have.
Talented coming out of college, but just when you saw his rapport with the team and what he did on the field, he did not seem like a leader. So, that was. Peter White said Gronk will be on the DL by week 5.
He might.
Yeah,
he's what his workout ethic is.
Yeah, supposedly he's trying to put on 25, 30 pounds or more. So
you just don't know. I mean, he seems, he's kind of gone the route of, the wrestling and all that. That now he seems to be more into entertainment than he is.
He is.
And you're not just going to go out and be an entertainer in football. If you do, you're going to get hurt, and you're just, you don't show up.
I'm sick of hearing all these stories in New England how. These poor bastards, they couldn't take it under Bill Belichick anymore. They needed a happy, fun environment. Just shut up. Just play. I mean, you won how many Super Bowls? Shut up.
Yeah.
Even Rodman took a couple days off.
Looks like we got our first muter coming up.
Tua won't play in 2020.
That'll be obviously when I say I'm muting people, I'm just kidding. I'm just I'm a huge Dolphins fan. And Brazier, I already kicked him out. He's not even in here anymore. Oh yeah, he is still here. Damn it! I thought I booted him, but anyway. So then you move on to number 6, and
that was the LA Chargers who took Bear, which was
Justin Bear,
which was a smart pick considering They needed a quarterback more than they needed a location to play.
That's true.
Will Henderson with the $4.99 chap. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Will. Cheers
buddy.
Will.
Bud. I appreciate that.
So,
what else we have? So then you go on to number 7, the Carolina Panthers. I mean, all right. So here's my thought. I mean, he's very good.
He's enormous.
I mean, he is enormous. I guess I just don't know like Carolina is one of those teams where you could kind of go anywhere and it would seem to help outside of running back. You know, it just they're thin really for the most part just about everywhere. So
Yeah.
I get it why you'd want a big defensive tackle to maybe start to shore up your defense. I mean, they struggled mightily last year.
Oh yeah, their half their draft was, most of their draft was all defense. So who's quarterbacking them now? Do they get a quarterback?
They signed the kid out of New Orleans from last year. Jeez. somebody in the chat will not Bradbury, Bridgewater. There we go. I was close.
Bridgewater.
Yeah. Bridgewater,
Bradbury. Pretty close to Bradbury. We'll take it.
Yeah, very close. Yeah, started with a B.
Bradbury, Bridgewater.
Yeah. Bridgewater I like. He played pretty well.
Generally, I don't like things that start with B, like Brazel. I don't like that at all. Oh yeah, here we go. He's gonna get a permanent delete.
Tua's gonna dislocate his shoulder, sending in signs, drop the clipboard on his foot, and break his fingernail.
I'll tell you.
Oh man!
I'll tell you. If I didn't like you, Joseph, I would delete you. All right, so here's where I think this is going to be pick number 8 for the Cardinals. I think it was kind of a no-brainer, but again, Isaiah Simmons is another one of those you just kind of wonder if he's going to end up being not a bust, but he's like a workout warrior, like one of those high energy guys that it doesn't always seem to translate over to the field, especially when it gets to the NBA, the NFL, that you just can't play like that all the time.
They're gonna have.
He was one of those guys who was like super, super high energy and played super fast all the time. But I feel like in the NFL, if you're having to cover one-on-one against a receiver, like that's going to be where it's tough. Like he doesn't have he's good, but I don't think he has the speed to cover like a slot receiver, which is what linebackers have to do.
Yeah.
That's a tough. Arizona pretty much went all defense except for the last running back they took, but they're going to have one of the biggest defenses in the league.
Yeah.
And remember, they got DeAndre Hopkins from stupid Texans.
Yeah.
Who for some fucking reason gave him up, morons, for a bag of balls.
Essentially they did. I mean, they got rid of, the last few years, he's arguably been, if not the best wide receiver, one of the top, 3 best wide receivers. Yep. So, that Bill O'Brien, he's like single-handedly, it seems like, destroying that team. Like he's got horrible relationships, it seems like, with guys, and
it's always bad.
That guy is 2 morons rapping stupid.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it. So.
Who's the Cardinals quarterback? Who they draft last year?
Oh, that's
what's his name? The short, tiny little guy.
Yeah. Jesus, why am I'm gone like blank for crying out loud.
I can't remember. But all I remember is we played them opening day, and the Lions literally had like first half about 6 or 7 batted balls. Because the guy's like 5'9", 5'10".
Yes, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, Kyler Murray.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then second half, he just ripped us apart and we lost. And I was like, you've got to be shitting me. I was so pissed.
Dude, he's a that dude can play. I mean, they roll him out. He has a little trouble passing from the pocket because he is smaller than usually most of the lines in the NFL. Yep. So you have to the shorter guys, you got to roll them out so they can see over shit. So they do a good job of putting him on the move, and he's a talented quarterback, has a hell of an arm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's got a huge arm for being that size.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he'll be I think he'll continue to get better. So all right, so then we move on to here, I guess, I don't know. This for me was a bit early. CJ Henderson, the cornerback from Florida. I thought it was a little bit early. He's good, but I didn't see him being a top 10 guy. I knew for sure he'd be a top 20 guy, but inside the top 10 was a little bit of a concern for me. So,
and corners are that position where it's honestly, it should be a more coveted position because that's the hardest position on the field, in my opinion, in defense at least.
Yeah.
Trying to cover these guys who like run out of the gym. It's just ridiculous, you know?
Well, and that's the issue with all these guys. I mean, they draft these guys nowadays, especially these top, let's say 10 or 15 guys, that they want these guys to be lockdown corners. They don't want anybody like having to shift safeties their way.
No safety help. Exactly.
They're putting these guys out on an island and telling you cover somebody else's best receiver.
Yep.
And I don't know if CJ Henderson is that guy or not.
But impossible job.
Well, yeah. I mean, they needed to fulfill that need. I mean, their corner spots, their defense was their biggest need after the one dude left and went to the Rams. So they fulfilled needs. They weren't sexy picks, but but again, I'm not sure. I don't know where Jacksonville is going with the, offensively, it's a little bit tough. So
yeah.
So Jason, I would ask you, would you prefer him or AJ Terrell? Because you got AJ Terrell, which is next back there.
So AJ Terrell, I thought. So the whole thing leading up to the draft was Atlanta was supposed to pick up. They were going to make up a trade. They were going to trade up to go grab the what's his name, Derek Brown, the defensive tackle that Carolina got.
Mm-hmm.
So that was going to be the big thing. If not, there was also rumblings they were going to try to trade up and go all the way to try to get Chase Young, because if Atlanta needs anything, it's a fucking pass rush. They cannot rush the passer. We also we got rid of the what the hell's his name? The defensive end from like 3 or 4 years ago. He had like 15 and a half, 16 sacks, and then he went from that to like 2 sacks the next year.
Mm-hmm.
So the Atlanta dropped him. I never have any issues with Atlanta's offense. They always have a high-powered offense. They got Gurley, who's going to add another dimension to that offense.
That's going to be helpful.
Yeah, it's going to be a friggin' sick offense. They dropped Devontae Freeman. He had a lot of injury issues the last couple of years, concussions, ankles.
That was a good move.
Yeah, I thought that was a good move. I'm glad I like Gurley a lot. We'll see how he fits in.
Yeah, it'll probably be a 1-year thing, but people know it. I mean, his knee is horrible, so
yeah. So the thing was, Atlanta got a lot of crap to pick up Terrell because he didn't really perform well in the final game against LSU. But people don't realize that he had like 108 fever that game. So he wasn't really playing up to full par. But with the
Did you say 108 fever?
Yeah, he had some crazy fever that he played with that game.
That man should be having a seizure on the field if he's having 108 fever.
108.
Maybe it was 104. Maybe I embellished a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Let me, Jason. I should have just let you run with it.
Let me say, Vic Beasley. Vic Beasley is
Vic Beasley.
I think Gurley. You never know. I mean, I think he still has some mileage left. You will see how he does with a new system. I don't think he was very happy in LA, so they didn't really utilize him that much the last year or so. They were always
they're gonna. I mean, hey, if you can ride that horse, that's what they're gonna do. I mean, basically, they're gonna run these guys into the ground. They're gonna get what they can out of them, and that's the NFL in a nutshell. But let me say real quick. Thanks to Andrew Buchanan, $4.99 super chat, says, "Don't even get me started on the Texans. They're my hometown team, and I didn't even pay attention to the draft due to Bill O'Brien being a moron."
Yeah, I get that. But honestly, with the Falcons, I mean, I just don't trust I don't trust Dan Quinn's defense. I think people have figured it out, and he always gets speed, and he gets these guys that could tackle and run. But unless you have specific guys that can do that and do that well, the thing with the Falcons is every year, the last few years, ever since their Super Bowl run, they cannot fucking stop anyone when it's time. Like, it could be 3rd and 24, and somehow they will give up a first down. It happens every time I watch it. It's so fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
You don't have a pass rush, and you don't have a decent secondary. So we'll see how it goes. Who knows? If they can't get a pass rush, and it's just going to be the same old Falcons like we've had the past 3 years. So it doesn't matter even who you have in the backfield. You can't rush the passer, then you might as well just fucking pack up and go home.
Well, I understand that in a different language, because Dolphins is frustrating in Spanish. That's what that means. Yeah, here you go, Chris, real quick. So Joseph said Jacksonville should have traded their defensive end, which is that like Njoku or whatever it is, and whatever is Yanni, whatever, and the first round pick to Detroit for third. I don't think that would even have been enough, to be honest.
Well, not for Jacksonville, but Detroit was trying to get rid of that pick. I mean, they were doing everything they could to get rid of it because, I mean, he'll help for sure, but it's going to be the same thing. Like, this is what the Lions do. They draft someone, it works out, and then trade him away. They don't pay him. And then, like, that's what happened with Darius Slay. Like, I'm surprised Stafford has lasted this long with all the controversy with people in Detroit thinking he's not a good quarterback, but like,
well, hey, he's been more than serviceable. I mean, for sure. So
he's a top. I mean, I'm biased, but he's a top 7 quarterback in the league, in my opinion. So,
holy Christ! Clearly, someone's had too many whiskeys.
This is every week. So
here's all the Eagle Rares kicking in for Chris. Oh boy, here we go.
Anthony Orlando said Falcons choke job in the Super Bowl. I don't think it was as much as a choke job as it was stupidity and on the play calling part.
Awful play calling.
Awful play calling.
Yeah, it was bad.
As soon as you had the lead, that was when fucking Freeman was running all over the place. You should have just given him the ball, but no.
Yep.
They had to do their fancy ass passes, and he was getting sacked left and right. So
that was honestly some of the worst play calling I've ever seen. I was like, why do you not just hand the ball off every single play?
I remember yelling at the TV, like, "Are you guys trying to lose the Super Bowl?"
Seriously.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah.
My mom was like trying to pull me away from the TV. She thought I was going to kick it.
Yeah. You know, Jason must be old because that's when the TVs were on the ground.
Yeah.
the old
man, it was on a fucking entertainment center. All right.
It is for the foot right there.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the Browns, who actually had another solid draft. They went mostly defense. So
yep.
I think they did a defense. I think they picked up like one wide receiver and a tight end, but the rest of their picks was all defense.
And you just kind of feel bad. It's like it seems like even though it looks good on paper, like somehow it just isn't going to quite work out for them. You know?
Well, they got a new coach, so we'll see how it goes. I think if that team needs anything, it's stability. So
yeah, that they do. I mean, that was like a soap opera last year. That was so bad.
Yeah. When they hired that coach, when they hired that dude, man, that was dumb. It's just dumb.
I think the Browns' problem is their drafts always look pretty good. Like they're like, oh, they're going to do well. You know, it just goes to shit every year.
They never have the coaches to put it all together.
Yeah, there's no development.
I still don't see them overtaking the Ravens maybe the Steelers. I don't know where the Steelers are at, but they had a good draft.
Steelers are like up and down. You never know.
Yeah.
But the Ravens.
Yeah, definitely not taking over the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens, honestly, they may have had the best draft of anybody.
Oh my God, Lamar last year.
So what do you guys think? You think what's his name? AB is going to be going to the Ravens? That's what.
Oh man!
Can you imagine though? Can you imagine when they play division games?
Antonio Brown, man. If he goes to the Ravens, that's going to be a fucking shit show.
I can't wait till the first game back at the Steelers Stadium, man. Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, I don't even know, like, if anybody, to be honest, wants that baggage. I mean, the talent, of course, is fantastic, but the baggage is going to be ridiculous. So.
If the Patriots can't handle the baggage, no one can.
I would agree.
That's how it is. Like, the Patriots they took Randy Moss when he was having all his problems, and it worked. Antonio Brown?
Nope. I thought, like, when you went to, like, the Raiders, I'm like, what a, kind of a scenario where the guy can go and do what he wants and be whatever. He couldn't get along with anybody. He fought with everybody there. I mean, it just,
The Cleveland kid saying Browns 11-5. Okay. That's
what they said last year. They said that last year, too. Last year, they predicted the Bears and Cleveland to be like 1-2. So that landed us.
See, Doug Tepper says, who wants him and why? You know why they want him? Because he's fucking talented. And
that's exactly why.
That's the thing, and that's the thing in the NFL. You could fucking kill a man, run him over, trip an old lady, piss on her face, and they'll sign you because you're talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll happen. I'm sure it'll happen.
Somebody's gonna sign his ass because nobody can leave. Coaches and organizations are too thirsty to win over anything else. So
well, and that's exactly it. Because what'll happen is whether he signs with a team prior to week 1, who knows? But you'll get that team where even if you start to get into the season where you can feel that something is maybe going to be like special, that now all of a sudden they will take a chance on him, and he just adds another. I mean, you don't go out and just get a great wide receiver off the shit pile every day. But
yeah, well, and now the question is, he's been off so long. Like that's another layer of it.
Jesus. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ray Lewis, man.
Oh,
Take that stupid dance that Ray Lewis used to do. I don't understand where he got that. I couldn't stand it.
I don't know.
Okay, so next up after the Jets was
Big Mekhi Becton. That was the big 400-pound offensive tackle from Louisville.
Did anyone watch the draft and see the size of that man?
Oh my God. He took up the whole screen.
He's not even a man. He's a fucking kid.
Yeah.
He was huge.
He actually qualified as the Jets' first and second round pick. He was
So he also said that he may not be done growing.
Yeah.
Said that.
Yeah.
Dude, he had like both his ass cheeks in like 4 different rounds.
That's a big man right there. That's for sure. So
yeah, that dude stood up. First of all, he was sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
So big that his knees were like up by his face. And
the couch looked like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like that.
Well, his dad on the couch was the same size as him, if not bigger.
Yeah, and then he stood up, and all you could see was like from his belly down because he was camera.
Yeah, that's an enormous dude.
An enormous individual.
Yeah.
But the Jets kind of fulfilled a bunch of needs all around, which is what they needed: defense, offense. So we'll see what happens with them. Then Las Vegas Raiders came up and they picked the speedster. They got Henry from Alabama.
This was a little bit. This was kind of for me a little bit surprising. Not to take anything away from Ruggs, but he's a great wide receiver. But I honestly thought that CeeDee Lamb probably would have been the number 1 wide receiver for whatever reason. I don't know why. But I know the Raiders are enamored by speed. They've always loved the fast guy, and he was the fastest guy, I think, at the combine this year. So
I feel like Lamb was talked about most out of all the receivers during like pre-draft stuff.
Yeah, man, he's so good.
Yeah,
I mean, they went fucking pure. I mean, they got 2 wide receivers, a running back. They were going after offense, man.
All offense.
Yeah. Well, they need all the help they can get. That's for sure. So, all right. So then move on to Tampa Bay. That's
no surprise here with the offensive tackle.
No, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, you got to protect old man Brady. That's for sure.
You got to protect the fucking Brady.
Yeah.
And then you get to San Francisco, defensive tackle. Like they need any more defense. Holy shit.
Yeah. Gosh.
I mean, this honestly seems like more of almost like a luxury pick for some reason when you go, really good defensive tackle. I mean, they're clearly trying to make a statement with that defense. It's already fantastic. And to get,
well, they lost one of their primary defenders.
Yeah, DeForest Buckner. So he got traded. So I think that was a little bit. I mean, when you trade, again, one of the best defensive tackles in football, then you redraft them another young guy, which seems to be what the 49ers did here. So looks like we must have another drunk person here.
Go Bears.
No love for the Lions.
Someone's been sipping the sauce a little too long.
He's a firefighter here in Chicago.
Oh, is he? Okay. All right.
Nice.
All right. What else do we have?
Yeah, like what's San Francisco's offense? Did they pick anything offensively? Let me look here. They got They picked up a tight end, a wide receiver.
Who was the wide receiver they picked up?
Arizona State, Brandon Alyuk.
Oh yeah, okay. So he's a pretty good wide receiver. So that's a good pick right there.
And then they got a tight end, Charlie Warner out of Georgia, Bulldog.
Okay.
And then they got out of Tennessee, Juan Jennings.
Juan.
It's either Juan or Jawan.
I thought you were going to say two.
A Wana and a Tua.
It's a Wana and a Tua.
Wana and then a Tua.
Yeah, that's who Miami needed to pick. It would have been a Wana and a Tua.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. So then moving on to any Denver Bronco fans in the house.
Oh yeah. So here's another one. So here you got Jerry Jeudy. You knew this was going to be wide receiver. Another guy who was kind of on that CD Lamb kind of 1A type deal. Jerry Jeudy was another one that was talked about a lot. Very, very good wide receiver because his quarterback was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, they also got what's his name? Hamler from Penn State. So, I mean, you put those two together for wide receivers, they're going to have a couple of speedsters. Now, whether or not they translate to the NFL quickly, we'll see. But Denver's offense, if not, this year, maybe next year, should be pretty damn good.
Well, they needed some speedsters to get down the field to let what's his name throw the ball deep to him. He's got a big arm. I almost said Brock Osweiler, but that would have been embarrassing.
What?
Holy Christ, that guy's really bad. Jesus.
He was there though.
He was. The Eagle Rare
got credit for that.
The Eagle Rare is kicking in officially.
Oh my Lord.
Is Drew Lock still their quarterback?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not gonna last.
Yeah, they've been another team that's gone through
anemic at quarterback.
Oh my God, it's been one after another. They just keep drafting these guys and they just flame out. I mean, not everybody can be Tim Tebow.
Honestly, Tebow took them to the playoffs at least.
That was the best quarterback they've had since Manning.
Manning, it's true. That's a true statement.
It's true. Oh boy,
it is.
Like, I know what I'm saying. Like Tim's drunk.
Elway sucks. well, compared to Osweiler, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Tim's had a lot of the Eagle Rare tonight, apparently.
Yeah. I tell you, I've had a lot of Eagle Rare in my day, but this one pick that I have is just, oh man, is it so good?
Yeah, I think that KJ pick is gonna, if they can get the ball to that kid, I think that's a really solid pick by them. They needed offensive help, so that'd be cool.
All right, and your boys, the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, hey, they needed help. I mean, AJ Terrell. I mean, we
talked about them. A lot of people think they picked too high for him, but they needed cornerback help. We'll see. I
love Dallas's pick. CeeDee Lamb at 17 was.
That was solid. That's
good pick.
This is what I was hoping. I was really hoping he would have gone one more, but
he was voted the top receiver. So I was surprised that what's his name went before him.
Two of them.
No, Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, Jeudy. Yeah,
and Ruggs. Ruggs went before him.
Ruggs went before him too. Those were like I thought. CeeDee Lamb was top, receiving the draft.
I thought he was going to go first too. That's they were talking about him as like it seemed like the number one receiver. That's why it's so weird.
That's what they say about CeeDee Lamb that he's kind of like, I don't want to say arrogant. Maybe that's the wrong word, but he's extremely confident. He's kind of a leader, So I thought just that and his talent would garner it a number one pick.
Yeah, but Terrell Owens complex. You never know.
Nah, that's true. I don't get your popcorn ready.
Yeah. And then you go back to at 18, Miami picks again, take an offensive tackle, bit of a project. I don't know. This was a little bit hit or miss. You needed offensive tackles, and it was probably as far as tackles went at the time, he was probably the better of them. So I understand it. I'm not super excited about it, but
So I don't know anything about him, but he just looking at ESPN here, it says he was 8th ranked for offensive tackles.
Yeah, it was kind of what he's a bit of a project. I guess it was one of those deals where they really talked about him being a guy. Yeah, they just kind of talk about him being one of those guys that somehow if he if he develops like they think he is, maybe he's like they've, that untapped talent or whatever. But
If he develops, is he still growing like that other dude?
I don't think so. Well, this dude was always small. He's 6'5", 322, so a little dude.
Small.
Wow, yeah, small guy.
322.
Yeah, compared to 406'10", like the other guy was.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then you go to pick 19, Las Vegas Raiders. They shit the bed with this one, taking Arnett from Ohio State.
Dude, I think I agree in the chat. I think T.O. was a beast. That guy
T.O. was a monster.
T.O. was like created in a lab somewhere.
But let's keep in mind he had great quarterbacks throwing to him too.
Yeah.
No, he did. Yeah, he did.
But he was a beast.
You need that, but I mean, yeah, when that dude got in the open field, this guy was a beast, man.
Strong and fast.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like the perfect prototypical big, fast wide receiver that everybody wants, All right, what else we got? Raiders at 19. I don't know. I mean, Arnett's good, but I mean, Jesus, seems a little bit early for him. But
dude, all the Ohio State cornerbacks had great seasons, so they're gonna.
I think corners in this draft were so deep. There were so many corners in this draft. It seemed like. Yeah,
they said wide receivers and corners were the top two positions. So.
Yeah, there were already 3 or 4 corners that went before him. So
yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, and at only 19, so to get. And no, I don't. Maybe that was one of the things where the Raiders thought we better get somebody here soon, or the talent is going to really start to fall off, and maybe that was their best option. So
maybe.
All right. So then pick 20, Jacksonville, K'Lavon Chaisson. I mean, Jesus, the guy was a beast at LSU. So
yeah, he was.
It's again, you just kind of wonder. It's a bit like Isaiah Simmons. He's a high energy, like a crazy man out there, but but a fantastic player. You just again, you kind of wonder with these really super high energy guys. You can't really do that in the NFL for the most part.
I mean, they picked up 2 high quality defenders from the SEC. So I think they did good. Now, whether, like you said, you need high energy in the NFL, you need guys that can run to cover. So
yeah.
All right, Chris's son is back.
All right.
Hey, Chris, is he a Detroit Lion fan now too?
They what?
Are you turning him into a Detroit Lion fan?
That poor kid.
Poor guy.
Oh my gosh.
He doesn't know what's going to happen to him.
He doesn't have a choice.
Well, by the time he's able to understand, they might be good.
Yeah, we'll get you a peanut butter and jelly in just a second. Okay?
Yeah, tell him to get me one too. I like peanut butter.
Yeah, can I have an Uncrustable?
I'll make you one too, Jason. That's fine.
You have some Uncrustables? I love those.
Yeah, Crustables. Yeah.
What's his name, Chris?
Yeah, what's his name?
Evan.
How's it going, buddy?
What's up, Evan?
How's it going? Going.
Good.
It's going. Evan, I can't see. What's on your pajamas?
Yeah, you like those pajamas?
Like dogs, right?
Elephant pajamas?
Yeah, elephant pajamas.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, Alva Jammers. I think I need to get a pair of those.
You should. Definitely a onesie. Put it on Instagram.
Definitely a onesie.
Evan sounds a lot like his dad after several bourbons.
It's to that point already right now.
Yeah.
He's like, Daddy, I don't like Maker's Mark.
I taught him right then, I guess.
That's right. All right, so then you go to pick 21, Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Reagor, good wide receiver. So,
I mean, the wide receivers here are just like they're all good.
Yeah.
There's no bad wide receivers. That's what I was thinking. Like, how do you choose the number one? I mean, the top 5 would be number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. There are a few of these guys. Obviously, you could kind of flip flop a little bit, and they clearly did. And I think some of these wide receivers started getting pushed up a little bit too, even though it was a deep class. But I think I think panic sometimes sets in a little bit with some of these guys, but yeah, you can see then Minnesota at 22 goes right away. Justin Jefferson, another really good wide receiver from LSU.
I think that was a good pick, honestly, because I thought he was going to go higher.
Yeah,
I thought Minnesota had a pretty good steal with that guy. I mean,
yeah,
their offense is so good already, and their defense has always been pretty good. So
yeah,
they're like Minnesota. The last couple of years, I feel like they've always just been like on the cusp of greatness, but they never really.
Yo, Evan.
Yo, Evan.
You just have to do that. That always has to be in a Rocky Balboa voice. Yo, Evan.
Yo, Evan.
Hey, yo, Evan, I don't know. I got to wear these pajamas.
I don't think these are going to fit.
First of all, let me just tell you, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm going to open up. I'm going to tell you something real.
Okay.
The first time I ever cried during a movie was Rocky 3.
Rocky 3, hey?
Dude,
there's worse movies to cry during.
When Mickey dies.
Yeah.
And I saw Rocky, who was like, Rocky Balboa for Italians is like, look at this guy. He could do shit.
Yeah.
He can box. He's an athlete. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
So
he's an idol.
Yeah, he was an idol. So when he's like sobbing over Mickey when Mickey died in Rocky 3, holy shit, I fucking lost it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, he's already like you can't even understand a fucking word he's saying because he's so punch drunk during those films. And then when he's like crying over Mickey and he's trying to even talk and he's even more like incoherent, I fucking lost my mind. I was like, that's the first time I ever cried during the movie.
That's okay, man. It was sad when Mickey died.
It was sad.
My best friend is Italian. He's the same way over Rocky movie, anything Sylvester Stallone. Actually, we had a whole comment today about Sylvester Stallone. That's so funny you said that.
Did you really? That's funny.
Yeah.
I thought he cried like a lot. I thought like Rocky did a lot of that mumbling and all that other kind of good jazz because his freaking sweatpants were always so tight. They were hugging his balls a little too tight.
Well, the corner of his mouth never opened up. So talk about the side of his mouth.
That's true.
Rocky 5 was the worst because they made him extra punch drunk in Rocky 5. And he was even like I couldn't even sit through that movie because his speech was just terrible.
I never thought it, but it seems like the older he got, the worse it got.
Yeah, it was because it was like when you watch the movie like Rocky 5, when it first started, it was like he just went 15 rounds and got his ass kicked. Like he was already all swollen and everything. Like, did I miss something? Like, did someone kick his ass prior to the filming? Or like,
I think they shot up his entire head with Novocaine when they filmed the movie.
Yeah, it looked that way.
Tommy Gunn. Tommy Gunn. Like, what are you fucking saying?
A lot of mumbling.
A lot of mumbling. But yeah, Rocky 3, man. When Mickey died, I fucking lost my shit. That was the first time I ever cried at a movie.
Peter says maybe Old Yeller, but Rocky.
Old Yeller's a good one too. Yeah, Rocky.
Yeah. I Old Yeller.
Well, I have a thing like when even when I go to funerals, like I can look at like women crying and kids crying all day and not do anything. But when I see like an old man cry, I fucking that's when I lose my shit. I don't know what it is.
I can do it.
So I think what we've confirmed is that that Mickey is like the Old Yeller for Italian people.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Mickey is my Old Yeller.
Yeah, he's his Old Yeller, exactly.
Except he didn't get shot. He got pushed by Clubber Lang.
He didn't get shot.
All Mickey did was get pushed by Mr. T.
Oh, man.
I pity the fool who make me cry.
Somebody I did go back before. Joe Edwards was asking. He said a lot. Looks like everybody had Woodinville. He was asking where he could get some in VA, Virginia.
Oh, in Virginia. I don't know if they were in Virginia.
I don't know. I don't think so yet either. It just landed here like in the last month, maybe. Yeah, it's really recently. Might not even be a month.
This Woodinville cast strength is fucking phenomenal. It's like drinking cream soda.
Oh yeah,
vanilla ice cream in it like a float. It's It's so sweet and delicious. It's so good.
What's the proof on it?
This one comes in at 120.86.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. Oh, that's the barrel proof one.
Yeah, but it's one of those bourbons that do not drink that. It drinks way easier than 120, and that's surprising for a younger bourbon. I mean, it's only about 5 years old.
I'm gonna have to find that barrel proof because that was the 90 proof one was the one in my blind tonight, and it was so much vanilla, but it was like a sawdust almost that came in on top.
Yeah, this is just all vanilla and like root beer, cream soda. I mean, it smells like a root beer or cream soda float on the nose. It's amazing.
Sounds amazing.
It's almost effervescent too on the back of the palate. It's like bubbly. It's so good.
What do we got here? This is a good one. Neil, what is Neil crying over?
I saw it with Up.
Up the movie.
Like all the Toy Stories. There. Oh, that part in Toy Story, was it Toy Story 3 or 4 when Toy Story 4, they're all holding hands before they go into the furnace?
Yes.
I could see that being a little sad.
There you go. Distillery only with what Jason's got.
Yeah.
So yeah, distillery only. Doug Tempest says, how is the Woodinville port finished? I got a bottle of that too. The distillery sent me one of those as a thank you for doing their review, which I thought was really, I mean, they're just super nice.
Yeah.
It's good, but I prefer the regular bourbon over their port finish.
Yeah.
I haven't cracked open the Ardbeg finish yet, but I'll probably do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I think port finish on things can really be hit or miss. Sometimes you get a funky flavor from port. It's like either really good or has this like sour rancid note that I get. It's like I don't know what it is, but it just sometimes it comes across as very sour and like I don't know what it is with port sometimes. So
I think it's the younger, like if it's too young, that's the problem. You know, you get that graininess with a port, and I think it doesn't work well.
Yeah, there's something nice.
Jason Coates, man, the Futurama episode with Fry's dog, that slew me.
Jesus. Robot Scott says the movie I Am Legend, when he has to kill his dog, he lost it.
That was
that was
a really
bad one. Will Smith gets me every time.
Yeah, his other movie that he just had that was on like Netflix.
Home.
No, what was the one he like battled himself? It was like somebody like they like.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was actually it didn't get like the greatest ratings, but I thought it was pretty good. I mean, if you
I never saw that one.
If you can get past all the like computer animated, not animated, but like computer generated stuff, I mean, fine. But
I didn't look for that one. I'm a big Will Smith fan.
It was pretty good.
Many movies I really don't like.
I actually thought it was pretty good. So.
Click on Bourbon Apprentices. The port finish. Oh, the port finish at cask strength is stellar. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Okay.
Speaking of odd notes for finish, I got a doughy raw homemade pasta noodle note on Bardstown Prisoner. What?
I haven't had the Prisoner yet. And that was the other one that I think is finished in some kind of like port or something or cab or whatever, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bowman finish is really that's a super easy sipper.
Yeah.
Here's
a quick question. Like where the hell did Bardstown Bourbon Company go? Man, they flooded everything for a long time and then they've just kind of disappeared.
No, they're still coming out with release. I mean, a lot of their releases though are coming in at like $120, $130.
Oh, that's probably why. Okay.
Tough pill to swallow.
Yeah,
man, they were for a while. They were sending out sample things to every single buddy who touched whiskey.
Yeah.
And now,
when it came to the Fusion series, Discovery, when they released their first, the Pfeiffer Pavitt.
Yep, Pfeiffer Pavitt.
That one, and then they started. You know, they collaborated with Copper Kings, which I heard was pretty good.
Yep.
But their latest Discovery series, the Batch 2, was supposed to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
But their special releases that they're collaborating and doing different finishes, all of those bottles are 120 and up.
Yeah, it's pricey. It's pricey.
Matter of fact,
I mean,
So tough, man.
I mean, I understand that it does. Listen, you got to factor in these casks, the cost to get them into the price, and I get it.
Yeah.
But remember, they're also blending some source whiskey with some real younger stuff too. So I feel like, maybe 70, 80 would be a better price, but like 120 and over, that's rough.
Yeah, that is. I mean, when you start getting nowadays to that, that C note, it starts to be like one of those things where you're like, man, do I pull the trigger on this or not?
Yeah. I had the opportunity to try the Discovery Series. That's why I bought it. I've had this now for a long time. I haven't opened it yet. I guess now is a better time than any.
Which one is that?
The Discovery Series.
Is that 1 or 2?
First one, I believe.
Yeah, I have one here. This is the
that's
one
what I got.
I didn't know it's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I heard 2 and
121.21 proof.
Yeah, 2 though are supposed to be really the next batches are supposed to be even better. So
Really? I didn't know there was 2.
well, as you're drinking those, because the Chicago Bears didn't have a pick in the first round. How do you think your Bears did?
Overall, I graded them at a C+.
C+.
Yeah. Let me see.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. The best thing about it is when they said that they're not re-signing Trubisky.
Yeah.
I figured that they should have gotten some other stuff, but yeah, they had.
Yeah. So those 2 comments. So Christopher, I like Series 2 better than 1. Yes, but I agree with Bourbon Apprentice. Right underneath Fusion 1, I did like better than Fusion 2.
Yeah. Well, I've tried the Series 2 at the distillery. I only had a small little sample, and I think that little extra age from 1 to 2 started to make it a little bit more kind of complex and all of that. So
yeah.
What else?
Bad Bears Draft gets an A+ from me. It must be a Packer fan.
Yeah, there you go. Go Pack.
Nice. Yeah, Jason Coates must be a Packer guy.
Yeah.
So the Bears got tight end Cole Kmet.
Yeah, Cole Kmet, Notre Dame. And
you must have been happy about because you're a Notre Dame fan.
Yeah. And actually, I talked about that with a buddy of mine. He's a Packer fan and hates the fact that we got him.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Also, the 50th overall pick was Jalen Johnson out of Utah. I
think was he a cornerback? I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we haven't really dove into the Green Bay Packers yet. Jason Coates, he's a huge Packers fan. Anyone else in the chat? What do you think of them picking up Jordan Love, the QB? And
oh man,
do you guys think all this drama with I
can tell you firsthand. Dan probably knows too, but I can tell you, being in the state of Wisconsin now, not a Packer fan, so a little bit like no bias or anything like that. People were livid here. I mean, so
really,
they were mad. Like they wanted wide receivers. Like Aaron Rodgers has, outside of Devontae Adams, had basically nothing to work with.
You and me.
And they didn't do any of that. So they drafted apparently the heir apparent to Aaron Rodgers, which probably didn't sit very well with him, considering he's an egomaniac like a lot of these guys. But he's another guy. He loves himself. He's arrogant, and it probably was a slap in the face to him for them to take another quarterback. Very similar almost to what Aaron Rodgers did when he was drafted to the Packers in front of Brett Favre, or behind Brett Favre. So
I think that's what the Packers are going for, is to groom him to become the next quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, but I think Aaron Rodgers, listen, if he stays healthy, and if he's, they've always had great offensive lines, the Packers.
Yep.
They protect Aaron Rodgers as they should. The guy's arm, there's nothing wrong with his arm. His arm is ridiculous. Give that guy some weapons, you're gonna freaking win games.
Yeah.
That's why people were mad. They thought they were just really trying to consider getting him some weapons, and they didn't do that. They drafted the guy who's going to now sit behind him, and then they go to the second round and they draft a fat running back from Boston College. And I mean, he's mediocre, but I mean, you've already got, I mean, so you've taken a quarterback and a running back. So now you've got what were last year, kind of their 2 or 3 best positions. Their running back did a really, really good job. And I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Jesus, they were mad.
Jason Coates, he says he loves the pick. And says Rodgers is going to break down. He already is. I like him, but I'm realistic. Okay, well, I mean, that's a very realist view of that, because a lot of people were fucking freaking out.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people. I would say if you polled most people, I think most people would not be in Jason's camp, I think, around here.
So I agree with the Packers, because just unlike what the Bears did, the Bears get a quarterback and then throw him into the picture right away. And then, he's got so much pressure on him. I think having a second quarterback behind you and getting to watch somebody that's great and picking his mind day in and day out during every game for 1-2 years is going to make you a better player. Just like Mahomes, he sat there on the bench for 1 year, and then his second year he came out and he was amazing.
And there's a track record of that. I mean, like Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. Brady did it with Bledsoe back in the day.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting in Green Bay, because I mean, nobody is like writing off Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they think he's going to be around for a while. Which to me, this now says no, you're not. Whether you're healthy or not, you're either going to be traded or something, because you can't keep your number 1 draft pick on the bench for 2, 3, 4 years. That's just not the way it's going.
Well, I mean,
they can if Rodgers is performing.
Yeah. Not only the quarterback spot, but they were upset they didn't grab a wide receiver, a tackle, a cornerback. There was a lot of needs that it seemed Green Bay didn't address.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of pissed them off too.
A lot of it. I mean, they used a lot of early to mid-round picks on what was very questionable to a lot of people. Like, geez, what everyone thought they needed, they did like the complete opposite. But
yeah, a running back and a tight end and a QB in your first 3 picks, and you obviously needed some help on defense. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't. Let me go back. Say thanks to Christopher David, $10 super chat. Thanks, buddy. And it says, "What's everyone's guaranteed to be wrong 2020 Super Bowl predictions?"
Lions.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs are still coming out of the AFC as long as Mahomes stays healthy.
Yeah.
And Ravens.
Yeah, I think it'll come down to the Ravens. And, if the Ravens do get Antonio Brown, that'll be really interesting back and forth with those 2 teams. As long as everyone, again, health is always a big issue with the NFL. If, teams stay healthy, especially the quarterbacks, they always have a good shot. NFC is kind of intriguing because there's just a lot of teams right on the cusp of being there. The Saints seem to be always there.
Yeah.
Dallas is always in the discussion, but never seems to get there.
Yeah.
There's always drama with them, which is always crazy. San Francisco, they're going to have that defense. But offensively, I kind of worry about them. We'll see what happens. LA, I don't think they're going to – I'm not a believer in their quarterback anymore. I don't know who's coming out. The AFC seems to be kind of set with those top tier teams, but the NFC is kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. It is very it is kind of set. It is kind of set more in the AFC than it is the NFC, that's for sure. So
I mean, if I had to pick an NFC team, it always seems like Cowboys and Green Bay are always in the discussion.
Yeah.
Green Bay more so because of Aaron Rodgers, and Dallas because I guess everyone needs to fucking put Dallas in there for some reason.
Yeah.
What about Seattle?
90s.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Detroit Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. Only wrong answers here. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you never know. I mean, people out of the NFC, they're going to pick Tampa Bay because of Tom Lazy.
Yep, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's the thing, man, with Tampa Bay. Like, if somehow that guy is able to play remotely like he did the last maybe couple years in New England with the wide receiver weapons that he has, and if they can get a halfway decent like running back there now, then man, they could be they could be good. Yeah, Seahawks again. They're another team that's always in there.
Seahawks is one of I'm not a Seahawks fan by any means, but I love watching them play. They're just Russell Wilson puts on a show every game.
He's really gotten a lot better in the last 2-3 years.
I can watch that. That's one of the teams, like when they play like other teams, like on TV, most of the time I won't watch, but if the Seahawks are on, I'll watch them just because of Russell Wilson.
Can you guys remind me like who he was playing for when he won the Rose Bowl?
Oh, Jesus.
On Wisconsin, baby.
Christopher David says he's hoping for a 49ers-Ravens rematch.
I mean, you could see it. I mean, you could definitely see it. I mean, oh man.
I think Richie Z would agree with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spencer Mav. Look at this.
I've never seen anybody come out of the school until just now. Thanks for that.
I've never seen someone climb out.
Is the table anchored to the ground to where you can't push it?
Yeah, it's rough.
It's rough. Yeah. That's
like
awesome.
Chris, if you move that table like an inch forward, is it going to fall over your stage?
It might. I kind of have like the worst setup ever, honestly.
That's awesome. I've never seen someone climb out of a stool.
It's all about the leg.
Yeah.
Like it's almost better if Chris just fucking tips over in the stool.
Yeah.
That's how we all have to get out of our stools.
Spencer, if you're not careful later, you're going to get a few more of those leg lifts. You might get a little ball action coming up pretty soon.
Hell yeah.
Tim Evans says Hawkeye here. We just produced pros, not many champions.
Come on. Tim's drunk.
Go easy OSU fans.
Tim's drunk. I don't know. I was going to.
Paul Carlin, Chiefs are going to repeat, calling it now. I would take that bet. I mean,
yeah. It would be, what would really be nice. I'd like to see Chiefs Ravens. I mean, I know obviously, but man,
yeah.
What a battle that could be.
Those two quarterbacks going head to head would be entertaining.
That would be.
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of like the highest scoring games?
You say stool.
It would just be a fun game to watch. And I don't know if I haven't seen the 2020 schedule. I don't know if they're even slated or not, but
now the Chiefs, we hadn't talked about their draft. They got an amazing running back in their first round.
Yeah.
First pick. Well, I forgot his name. The guy from LSU, Clyde Edwards.
I don't know. It was a little bit kind of surprising because he was not really talked about being the number one guy. A lot of times it was the kid he was Dobbins from OSU.
Well, but you got to remember Clyde Edwards is known as more of an all-purpose back, and for Kansas City and for what Andy Reid likes to do, that's the type of back he wanted. And you add that dude, if he transitions the NFL quickly. Yeah. Jesus, I mean, their offense is ridiculous.
Yeah, he could be a definite, a check down guy. So
yeah, they got a linebacker, a tackle. They had like a kind of a good balanced. If some of those talents that they pick pan out as really good pros, I mean, again, they're just stacking that fucking team, man.
Well, and that's another thing. These guys do get drafted into these organizations because it fits the style of football that they play too. So
and that's what it is. It's not always about the best talent, but you got to pick on who's going to be the right. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Jason Coates said, EH wasn't the number one guy, but he was definitely the number one fit in our offense. So yeah, that makes sense. And Christopher David does say Chiefs play Ravens in 2020 in Baltimore. That'll be a fun game.
I would actually be fucking on board. I would have my popcorn ready for that Super Bowl.
You got it. That'll be a fun one to watch. That's for sure. So what else we got here? So yeah, let's go. We already went to the Packers.
Any Tennessee fans? Who the Titans take? Oh, they took a tackle.
Did they even have a first round draft pick? Oh yeah, late.
Yeah, late.
Isaiah Wilson. Yeah,
they said that their day 2 picks were the best. They needed a cornerback and they needed they got a complimentary running back to Derrick Henry. So
Yeah.
They're gonna have the old thunder and lightning combination.
Yeah, thunder and lightning. But Baltimore loaded up again. I mean, to get Patrick Queen, the linebacker out of LSU at 28 was ridiculous. So, I mean, that was like people talked about that guy being like the steal there. So,
He was like, I think he was projected the best linebacker at that point.
man, he's really good. So to get him at 28 was crazy.
I'm cracking open this. I found this green spot today. This Irish.
Oh,
So it's a green spot, Chateau Leoville Barton.
sounds right.
Yeah.
It's basically green spot finished in Bordeaux wine cask. So Donald Rance, who you guys know is the Irish whiskey Yoda, I call him. I texted him and I sent him a picture of this. I'm like, hey, I just found this randomly in Ohio. Is this worth picking up? And he wrote, OMG, get it now.
Oh, wow.
So
All right.
That's good.
I'm gonna see how this is.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what that does to that Irish whiskey, profile.
Yeah, so the Chateau, like the different finishes that they do with the spots are really interesting, especially the green spots. Yellow spot is a couple of them. But he said that this Bordeaux wine cask one it's one that doesn't come around often. So he's like, fucking grab it. So I did.
Do you do you have a big like Irish whiskey selection actually?
I wouldn't say it's big. I mean, we have some really weird brands. But yeah, we have a decent Irish whiskey selection here. I mean, we have all the redbreasts. We have usually green spot, yellow spot. Obviously, I'd never seen this one, but this one was available today. Then you have all the Jamesons, all the decent ones. We have only like a couple of Teelings. I wish there were more Teelings available here. But we'll see how this one is. Apparently, I was looking this up online, and it had some incredible write-ups. So I'm going to let this sit in the glass for a little bit and see how it is.
Dan, what do you got?
This is an old Potrero because you said port finish. This is finished in port barrels.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
It is so good. This is my second bottle. I keep dancing around there.
I just saw somebody like posted something about that the other day. Oh, it was you. You were drinking it the other night, like out on the patio or something.
Yeah. Oh, you saw it on our group.
Your Instagram page or whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is my second bottle. I didn't realize I finished the first one already. Had to open this one. It's so good.
Yeah. Douglas Papa, thanks for jumping in. Let's see, what are you behind? An hour and 26 minutes, but not too bad. Thanks, buddy.
Well, we've been going an hour and a half. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're having fun.
That's what it goes. It says, hey guys, got in late. Pissed that I missed most of the stream. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. And thanks for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. And he's one of my new patrons today. So thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Nice.
Cheers, Doug.
Cheers.
Let me go grab an Irish as well since Jason did.
Oh man, I don't even know if
You ever grabbed that Der Gaelic?
I've had the Der Gaelic at I had that at Matt's house, Whiskey Crusaders.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the best. That's probably one of the overall best whiskeys I've ever had.
That's the only reason I have it.
Yeah,
Because of your review and Matt's review on it.
dude, it was insane. It's so good.
I figured you would have found a bottle by now.
I don't. Yeah, they don't come into Ohio. I haven't seen one. So
They're insanely expensive. It was a little to swallow, but I trust you guys.
which is why I had no issues drinking it at Matt's house.
Yeah, I really like what Teeling's doing. I really like a lot of their stuff, to be honest.
The stuff I've tried has been really solid stuff.
Yeah,
I love Teeling. I mean, you get 46% ABV. You get non-chill filtered.
Yep.
They're doing the things that we like in bourbon to Irish whiskeys.
Exactly. Yeah, it was really, really good. I mean, that one that they're like standard.
Bourbon Apprentice. I feel like Chris's stool climb should be exclusive pay-per-view content.
I'll go back and edit that out and just make that a special video.
Should do that every time somebody does a pay.
I'll have to figure it out. I might not be able to do it, but one of you guys should probably be able. Chris, you can, since it's you doing it, you should help me out and make that exactly.
Oh man.
Oh, he's breaking.
Grab some sample bottles.
Oh
What,
my God.
broke? What broke?
Sample bottle.
Oh,
It was
hopefully,
empty, don't worry.
hopefully it wasn't your bullet.
Yeah, no, it was empty. Don't worry.
Your review will just be you licking it off the floor.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, where was this in the tasting notes?
Yeah, cutting shards of glass on my tongue.
Or licking glass all over his lips.
Joseph Braza was asking about the 2019 GTS for $145. When you compare it to secondary, which is about $450, then yeah, that's a steal of a deal. I think it's good. There's nothing.
I mean, it's a good bourbon. I just don't think it's nearly as good as the GTSs have been in the past.
At all.
Not at all. I mean, it's 116 proof.
Yeah. Well, I mean, outside of having a GTS, I mean, would you rather have, I don't know, a couple of C919s versus a 19 George T. Stag? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about the 19 George T. Stag, I'd rather have a C919 and an A120 from Elijah Craig Barrel Proof over that Stag.
Yeah, I could see that.
When I was with Dixon Dedman, he actually sent a text out to whoever the distiller is for George T. Stag in front of us, and he's like, "Where's your fucking balls?"
But see, yeah, that's the thing though. For 145, you never see a George T. Stag really for that price. So it's almost like if I'm gonna own a George T. Stag, I'm gonna get it for that price.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
145 for sure.
Joseph says, "Hey Chris, can I push your stool in for you?" Not a gay question.
Not with those guys, man.
What do we got? What do we got?
Yeah,
here?
Bourbinsane doing some like Jean-Claude Van Damme like stretch moves to get out of there.
That's good. If I did that, I'd be on the DL for a while.
So this is all almond, apples, and fruit on the nose for this green spot. You definitely get the Bordeaux finish.
Hey, Rarebird 101. Thanks for jumping in, buddy. I appreciate it.
What is up, David?
What's up, David?
Good to see you.
C919 was boom. You're right.
Yeah. That shit was amazing. The A120 though, I think even drinks a little easier than C919.
I think there's still a bunch of this. I think there's still a bunch of the C919 around here, actually, in a liquor store, maybe about 45 minutes from me.
Yeah, the B's, the B for the Larceny Barrel Proof and the B for the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof should be hitting
Like
Ohio
now.
within the next couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely grabbing that at some point.
I'm going to be hesitant on the Larceny, but yeah,
It's got to be better than the A batch. The A batch was good, but I feel like there should be better things to come.
Well, I was amazed how disappointed I was with the A batch, honestly.
Yeah.
That was one tonight, even in my blind, I didn't.
So did you feel like the A didn't really come off as a weeder to you? It just came off as a Heaven Hill like bourbon.
Yeah, it tasted Heaven Hill. Like it had the nuttiness, and it had like a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of oak, but it was not.
When I first tried it, I was like, this doesn't come off like a weeder to me. I'm missing like that wheat, like that graininess, and I'm missing the fruit forwardness that a weeder will give you.
No fruit.
It just tasted like Heaven Hill Cracker Jacks.
Yes, exactly. And hopefully, but like you said, hopefully the B batch will be better.
Joseph Brazo C918 is still my favorite of all time.
Yes.
Do you guys remember this one? I just realized I haven't even opened this one. This is like the A118. Anybody remember?
I don't remember that one.
All right. I just had that.
My old ones are right here. I have let's see here.
I didn't even. I forgot that thing was even over there. So.
I have 14 Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs.
Oh my god! It's such a. I mean,
this is holy shit. What do I have here? So this is B517.
Nice.
So this was the one that originally won Whiskey of the Year way back.
Yep.
I got that.
This is the C917.
That stuff's delicious. I love that one.
And then I have the B519 here, but I have a whole row of them over there somewhere.
It's such a. It is. I mean, it's such a. I mean, you're kind of nitpicking with some of these things a little bit. I mean, it's such a great bourbon. Period.
Yeah, They're all really good. I mean, the A batches for me the last couple of years before the A120 just never really did it for me.
Yeah.
Live up to
What it was just like missing something compared to the B's and the C's.
And why is the C batch so small? Like it seems like there was B's, there was so many B's. All of a sudden there was like another round of B's, and I seen them everywhere, and they're stacked on shelves. And then the C came out, and it's like you had to go to the back of the building to get it. Like it was so
well, because in comparison, the C's are always for whatever reason the highest proof. But that didn't hold true for the A batch this year. The A batch was just as high. So,
well, that's a kind of a nice. It's kind of one of those things where like you do like a little bit of an end of the year like blind flight. You know, I mean, hell, why not? You know, it's kind of a fun one to do. I mean, especially to kind of blind yourself from and do it that way. It's a good thing to do. So
for sure.
But they all still don't beat this one.
Which one is that?
Oh yeah. Is that the bottle of Wow?
Yeah, 139.4 proof.
Yeah.
Of Elijah Craig barrel proof goodness.
Every day.
Yeah, it's some good stuff.
And it's got that little bit, Scott, and you know, you guys know it's got that little bit of a dusty note to it, which gives it a little bit more butterscotch. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I've had it before. It's really good, and I almost pulled the trigger the other day, and I don't know. I tried to talk the guy down a little bit and missed it.
What was he asking for it?
I think it was like $255, and I came in at $250, and somebody binned it before me.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing more frustrating than like being $5 off, and then a guy like BINs it right. You're like, what a dick.
So let's talk
for doing that.
So, Chris, do you kind of peruse the secondary, throughout the week sometimes?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't usually buy stuff, honestly, but I'm constantly looking at it.
So, Dan, I know you're on all the time. You guys notice how fucking just high the prices are on the secondary today?
So high. People got nothing to do but buy whiskey right now.
What the fuck is going on?
I know.
That's why, because people aren't out buying it at stores. They're not hunting it. So they're just going to throw up crazy prices, and people will just drive the prices up on these.
They're doing it too. Yeah.
Seriously, stores are not getting anything.
Yeah.
So.
Look at the like Dan and I were talking before you guys jumped on. Like, look at OKI. That shit exploded. I remember like the bottles I had that I ultimately traded, which I wish I did now, but I could have bought those things for $65 on secondary like a couple years ago.
Yep.
And now those 10-year, they're probably, I think some of them are 300 and some bucks.
Same with Elmer T. Lee and Rockwell Farms.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just look at some of the, look how much Smoke Wagon blew up.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I'm jumping all over it. I have my bourbon buddies all talking to me. It's like, I have a whole list. I could show you a list of every bourbon that's every Smoke Wagon. I mean, I'm wearing my Smoke Wagon shirt. Every Smoke Wagon that has been on secondary that I could see and see the what floor, what ABV. I have a whole list of them.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Ever have any question? I've never tried them all, but I have all the information.
It's kind of funny when you hear him talking, like even when he was on Jason's live, like you just mentioned a floor and a bottle number. He like remembers all of these things.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like ingrained in his mind.
I mean, the Willet bourbon's what they're going for.
Oh yeah.
Insane.
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, Willet is fanboy stuff anyway. That's just reactionary. Like people just go crazy over it. Like it seems like if you ask somebody who buys like all this Willet, like, hey, have you actually tried it? Like some people may be like, no, I've never even had it. We just buy it all,
I mean, people are nuts. They're selling. So another big one was the Colonel Taylor single barrel store picks.
Yes.
Now we're hitting the market, and people were selling them for almost $500 a clip. Someone was trying to trade one of those for one of the Amaranth of the Gods Colonel Taylors.
Yep.
I've seen some crazy stuff.
The Amaranth of the Gods is way more rare than a Colonel Taylor single barrel. I mean, I know it's a pick, but I mean, look, hey, I have one here. Look, it's a pick. It's a single barrel. Who gives a shit?
I know. Yeah. I know. It's ridiculous. And that's the other thing. I mean, look at Code says, the Willet 6-year, people are going to go crazy over a 6-year bourbon. I mean,
it's just weird.
It's so hot.
Like Willet, just like a Willet product that's like 5 or 6 years old. If it has that purple top, people are willing just to empty their bank account over it. I don't understand. It's good, but it's not like relax. Like what the hell?
Yeah. That's the thing. You hit the nail on the head. Like it's good, but it's not like secondary money good. It's just
Jason Coates said, I genuinely love the Willet 4-year rise. That's the home spot. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Willet 4-year rise. I have a 6-year pick from Benny's. I haven't opened yet. I have 4 years that I want to try to get through.
Well, and with some of the Willet, you've got to like their profile is you've got to like a little bit of the dilliness. That's what you get a lot of from Willet. So
I actually enjoyed it. I remember the first time I had it, which is at a restaurant, and just because I saw the bottle and I was like newer to bourbon, I saw a Willet bottle, so I was like all excited and tried it, and I was like, oh, this is really good.
King of Kentucky is going for over $1,000.
Dude, that freaking, I'm telling you right now, that sample that when I did the review of that thing, it honestly is one of the best whiskeys I've ever had, period. It doesn't even matter like what it is. It was so good. It was unbelievable.
Jason got one.
Oh my God, it was good.
Yeah, the King of Kentucky's from 2019 were insanely good. Like way better than the 2018s.
I knew it early on, and that's why I have what I have. And I traded for most of them. What I bought was, at $350, $450. I think I bought one at $600. But I did most of these trading up.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. If you can do that, that's the way to do it.
The old Fitz 16, the new bottled and bonds, those are going for $500 to $600.
Yeah.
Any E.H. Taylor you throw up there. I mean, it could be E.H. Taylor. This is the grains of his piss. We'll go for for thousands. It's insane.
Just wait till that 18-year.
So what do you guys think about that 18-year marriage bottle they're going to be releasing? I mean, I don't think any of us will ever see it.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea. I mean, I think it's cool that they're doing something like that. It's just people now are so like when they see it, like people are like, I'll never even see that bottle. The closest thing I'm ever going to get to is a picture.
They said the same thing about the Grain of the Gods, though.
Yeah. All Buffalo Trace is doing is using their experimental collections and calling some of them experimental collections and others E.H. Taylor line. So, it's an 18-year 4-grain is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
So, it's going to sell. It's going to be pushing $2,000 secondary, guaranteed.
You know what they shouldn't even do? Like, they shouldn't even do experimental stuff. They should just do it all as E.H. Taylor and just name it something, and they'll sell like a ridiculous amount for a crazy amount.
Honestly.
I mean, so
I don't know.
I mean that weeded bourbon that they're going to be releasing in the experimental collection is going to go for thousands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Weller 12 that's non-chill filtered and everything else.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
They like play with the. It's like all right, the experimental. All right, so let's let's put it in a different entry proof, and we could call it an experimental and sell it for millions.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they could do kind of whatever they want. I mean,
Buffalo Trace could take a dump in a vat of bourbon. Yeah. Take the dump out, call it experimental, and people will buy it for thousands. It's crazy.
No doubt. So.
I like the stuff. I'm not a huge fanboy of going to jump on every Buffalo Trace pick there is or anything like that. But like I said, the Eagle Rare, like every time I get one, I'll buy it. Like, Benny's had a pick. I was like, oh yeah. I was like,
it's like where these valuations come from the people selling it just blows my mind. Like, I always go back to the Old Forester birthday bourbons because the 2019 birthday bourbon that you see on the secondary goes for about anywhere between $400 to $500. You see an Old Forester birthday bourbon from just 2016 or 2017?
Yeah.
It's over $1,000 because it's older.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Like
it's gotten out of control. That's the thing. I thought things may slow down for a little while, and I don't know if all this coronavirus stuff has kind of just sparked it all back up, but it's just like, it's out of control. Like there's not even hardly getting a good deal on anything anymore. This shit's just, everything's expensive.
Yeah.
Hey, Christopher, that happens. Contact me. If you get one and I can review it, and I will send you I don't know, about $1,000 in insurance just to get that bottle review. Let me know.
Same here, buddy.
Yeah, it would be.
I already put out to a few places that I have good contacts with. So there's nothing's assured, but
yeah.
All right, boys, I gotta run. I gotta head upstairs.
Yeah, I gotta get going a little bit too. But hey, I want to say thanks to you guys, more importantly, for jumping on it. It was fun. It was kind of more of a shoot the shit little NFL bourbon talk, and I figure this is probably how it would go. So anytime you kind of mix a little football and some good bourbon talk, I'm game for that any day.
Every Sunday, I'm down.
Yeah, exactly. that would probably work, but
I'll be depressed a lot of weeks, but just be
that's okay. That's okay. We have to get your table pushed back a little bit for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Breaking a little bit, but
what we can do maybe is do like a they have like that break in between the 4:00 games, and then when the 8:00 game comes on.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
maybe we could do like a quick live in the middle to like recap, and then watch some of the 8:00 game, especially if it's one of our teams playing, which would be pretty fun.
That'd be awesome.
We'll have to figure out something that would be kind of fun to do. So
yeah.
Well, thanks guys for jumping on tonight. I appreciate it, and everybody in the chat, thanks for sticking in there with us tonight. I know it was another long one. Hell, we're probably almost 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes in. So, but
nothing like anyways,
yeah. So thanks again, guys. Cheers, and we'll see you next time in our normal slot. So remember, it's not about the people; it's the whiskey you share it with on a Wednesday night live stream. So
it's not about the one; it's about the Tua.
It's not about the one; it's definitely about the Tua. So, all right, cheers guys. Well, have a good night. We'll talk to you later. See ya. It's not.